What is up, YouTube family? In this video, we are going over the expenses that most vending business channels, vending business people do not talk about. It's not all just about pulling fat stacks of cash out. You actually do have to work a little bit, one, and two, pay for the expenses of the products and the maintenance that goes into your vending machine business. So in this video, we're gonna break it down, starting with products, how much money you can anticipate to pay per month for your products. That all depends on your size, your vending machines, your locations. But let's say you have a typical vending machine account running around $400 to $500 per month. You're gonna be spending at least $200 a month in product for that vending machine. It's just under half of what is usually the cost for most vending business owners. If you run your vending business a little bit better, put a comment down below, hit the like button, let me know what you're doing so maybe I can learn from you guys. Obviously guys, I can learn from you and your comments always help on these videos. But getting back to it, your products, is the biggest cost in your vending machine business. If you really think about it, beyond the cost of the vending machine, beyond the cost of, getting a vending machine location, your products are what you will continuously need to load into the vending machine. It's not like, hey, stock the products and then you're good for a year. No, with bulk vending, maybe, and that maybe works for like toy machines and stuff like that, but you still have to service the machines, maintain them, make sure the machines are working efficiently and properly. So that's something that I think a lot of people kind of don't really get, is when you pull out, let's say a $200 pull out of a vending machine bill acceptor, you have to pay probably about $50 to $80 in product cost, depending on how much product went and what your margins are set at. As in my last video, which I highly suggest checking out, I talk about your margins, and your margin for each product is gonna change and for each location. So specifically, I can't really say much for you, but depending on where your location is and how much you're kind of charging for a product, you're gonna want to at least make a 50% margin on your products. Even 100% is reasonable because you have to stock, maintain, pay for the credit card readers, pay for the credit card processing fee, the maintenance, stuff like that. So just be aware of this when you're putting products in a machine. If you buy something for 60 cents, don't put it in your machine for 70 cents because you're really not going to be able to make a living off of that or even be able to sustain a profitable business. As for electricity, this is such a big thing with a lot of new vendors asking like, hey, who pays for the electricity? Who pays rent, who pays commission, stuff like that. So in terms of electricity, I've never been asked to pay for the electricity. I do have one location now that kind of has dwindled down after the pandemic, and they've been saying, oh, we have to conserve on electricity, and they pulled the machine out. I'm taking that machine out of there next week, putting it into another location, hopefully show you guys that on this channel. And that's really what you gotta do. You gotta be upfront, honest, and just say, hey, there's no need to do this. The electricity costs are so low for you that you don't need to unplug the machines. If it's not making money, if you're not happy, just let me know. And that's as simple as that. But if someone brings up electricity when you're kind of pitching your service of your vending business, I would kind of just stray away from that and say, hey, we're offering a service. The vending machines are energy efficient. They really only cost about $40, $50 a year. If that's still something you want, we can talk about it. But I think that's where commission comes in. And that's kind of my next point is, commissions are good and all, but like, I think in this business, you want to try not to do commissions and you want to try to have a unique selling proposition. Like, hey, we're servicing these machines weekly. We do a better job than the next guy, because there really is no differentiator. Everyone sells the same snacks. Everyone has the same machines. Unless you're a top dog, a top G, you're not going to really be differentiating that much. And to get the top G accounts like hospitals, universities, and those type of businesses, you have to lock in crazy contracts, pay crazy commissions, and it's a whole nother headache and ball game in and of itself. And I'm trying to do that now. I've been bidding many towns, I've won a few, and I'm still looking to get a few more. So we'll see how that goes. If you guys want to learn about bidding contracts for towns, leave a comment down below. I'll let you guys know kind of that process and maybe do a video on it if there's some interest. As for credit card fees, this is kind of probably one of your big fees that kind of is ongoing, same with your product costs. So for Nyack specifically, and for Cantaloupe, as I've worked with both and continue to work with both, they charge a 5.95% fee. So for every dollar that is swiped through your machine, there's 6 cents that they take off the top. But before you say, wow, that's crazy, think about this. They also allow you to charge a cent amount for accepting that credit card. So I have mine set at between 10 and 15 cents, depending on the location. So let's stick with 10 cents. When someone swipes and they pay $1 for something, they're getting charged $1.10. So then out of that $1.10, 6 cents is going back to the credit card processor, but I already make up for that margin with an extra 3 to 4 cents because I'm charging for that swipe. But as I'll go into now, those extra couple cents go to my monthly cost for my credit card reader. So credit card readers cost $9.99 per month. So it's $120 a year plus your 5.95%. So say you do 1,000 transactions in a month, let's just say at $1, $1,000, the credit card processor is taking $70 from you for processing the transactions, for giving you awesome inventory records, for giving you cash accountability, management, all those things. They're charging you a little bit of your income, about 3% pretty much on how much you make a year is going back to your credit card processor. So it's an expense you really want to know about and obviously be prepared for when you enter this business. So to set up your credit card processor, it is rather easy. Nayax is having some delays for new customers. So if you're new and you're interested in getting some Nayax devices, go to the link in the description. We have a 7% off coupon. That'll save you a big amount of money on a $350 device. Code VBS saves you guys some money, kicks back a little bit to me. I appreciate all you guys who use the link. And continuing on, if you get a VPOS Touch, you know, these devices cost about $350. They could get you set up in about a week, I'm hearing, but if you're already signed up for Nayax, if you already have a Nayax account, it's almost instantaneous. I call up Nayax support, I give them the last 6 digits of the serial code, and basically they put it right on my account and it's activated and good to go, and people can start swiping their credit cards. So very simple once you're set up, but before getting set up, it is a little bit of a process. They need some documents for you, some tax things, social security number, your tax ID number, whatever it is, get it to them and they'll set you up as quickly as possible. As for what I was talking about before with the credit card fees, essentially you're putting the fees on the customer because they want to pay a credit card, they should pay for that fee. And some people don't do that. Some people don't charge the extra amount, and that works too, but you'll see with a lot of the bigger vendors, they're charging about a 10-cent fee to swipe a credit card just because they know it costs money to process every transaction. And with the small amounts of currency that we're doing, $1, $2, $3, it makes sense to charge the customer for that. So maintenance is also important in the vending machine business. If you want good machines, working machines, machines that are constantly up and running, you wanna make sure you're filling up the coins, checking the dollar bill acceptor, making sure there's no jams. There's an LED light under the dollar bill acceptor that'll tell you kind of the diagnostics of what's going on with the machine. You wanna reset all the coils, make sure the coils are fine, there's no errors on the machine, and you kind of wanna just check everything, clean up the compressor a little bit if you're working with a refrigeration unit, and you know, clean the machine down. Make sure people are using a nice clean machine. People want to see a clean machine. The regular maintenance beyond that is really simple. It's kind of just that stuff. And then if you have any bigger issues, you know, compressor breaks down, dollar bill acceptor not accepting bills, you have to diagnose it, you know, situation by situation. I've had many different problems happen to the same components of a vending machine. So it's very interesting how these machines kind of break down and what happened. But over the years and over the amount of machines that I've had, only like less than 10 kind of big issues. A main issue that I'm having now is one of my compressors actually broke down on one of my machines, and I had to do a $350 buy on a new compressor, and then I have to still bring it to someone who is certified in refrigeration units that has to do the whole cooling system and all that mumbo jumbo that I really have no clue about. But essentially it's gonna cost me probably another 50 to 100 bucks. So I'm at about $450 loss. That machine nets about $400 a month. So I've lost about a month of income. So guys, just make sure you realize that, you know, business is expensive and it's just something that you're gonna kind of factor into your costs. And that's kind of why we're talking about these expenses, is just understanding that the expenses do stack up sometimes as you grow your business. As with any business, expenses do stack. Same with the drop shipping business. You know, you make $1 million a year drop shipping, you're probably only taking home about 100 or 200,000 of that. The easiest thing that breaks on a vending machine, honestly, would probably be the dollar bill acceptor. And it doesn't necessarily break, it just gets kind of dirty and you have to make sure you're cleaning it on a regular basis. As for product waste, in the beginning of my vending business, I definitely had probably between, you know, 50, 60 bucks of product waste every single month, which sucked and was disheartening. But as I've grown now, product waste is probably close to like, you know, maybe $50, but like I've also expanded a huge amount. So $50 is not that much money anymore. And usually it just depends on the place that it's at. If a place is having waste, then you kind of have to just maybe tell them like, hey, what products do you guys want? And then kind of work from there. But I think, you know, usually that's not a good sign. So make sure you're aware of that when going into it. If a place is not selling a certain product, move it to another account and try to sell it there. In terms of what products kind of waste the quickest, it really depends, but I would say your drinks go very quickly, as well as like your chips. But like candy, any type of like granola bar, stuff like that. Those really have very long shelf lives, which makes me kind of weary to eat them ever again, because like the shelf lives is a big thing. As with even water, you know, it's surprising to think water even has a 2-year shelf life. So water, which necessarily doesn't expire, the FDA still puts a 2-year shelf life on it. So just be cautious when buying products that you have, you know, far out dates that you know you can sell. And if you have a 35 pack of cans that expires in 6 months, then you know you have to sell at least 35 cans in 6 months. And if you're not doing that, then you probably shouldn't have that vending account. Kind of like wrap this video up, we'll talk about transportation. I think transporting your machine is probably the biggest worry for a lot of people. If you buy a used machine, you know you have to figure out the logistics of transporting it. Look up local transporters in your area that maybe can help you. Usually the fee is between $150 and $250 to move a machine. And then 2, if you can get a hand or someone who helps that maybe has a truck with a lift gate, that'll help a lot. And then 3, kind of going the, you know, extreme route, using a U-Haul. I've used U-Hauls plenty of times to move machines. It helps a lot, but they're not the best machines because usually you can't get a lift gate with them. And they also do cost a little bit of your money. So you have to kind of factor that into the cost of the vending machine. Sure, maybe you get a vending machine for $1,000, but is it gonna cost you $500 to move it in terms of the U-Haul or whatever else that the cost may be for you? You have to account for those expenses when starting your vending business, and make sure you do, because in the end of the day, if that vending machine doesn't make that money back, you are technically net negative with your vending business. It is rather common for locations to charge rent because that's kind of their retail space, that's their floor space, that's their real estate. So I think, you know, going into it, I wouldn't necessarily suggest a commission or a percent, and I made that mistake in the beginning. But you realize later on, if you're paying 25% of your income to the business where the vending machine is, it makes it rather hard to be profitable at the end of the day, because going back to that credit card swiping fee, that's 6%. Add another 25% to that. That's 31% of every dollar. So 31 cents of every dollar going through your vending machine is being paid back to someone else that's not you. Doesn't go into your pocket, doesn't go into your taxes, your cost of goods sold. So you just need to account for all of these costs when starting your vending business, when growing your vending business. The biggest vending companies that are the most successful in these locations know their costs down to the cent, down to every vend that happens at their vending machines. They know that it's a profitable vend, and I want the same for you, and that's kind of why I made this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Drop a comment down below if you think I said something incorrectly, or if you have better advice for me. I'd love to hear it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Hope to see you back on this channel soon. If you want to follow me for more daily life kind of videos and pictures, follow me on Instagram at Dominic Barbado, and follow our business at Vending Business Solutions. And if you want to start with honor boxes, vendingbusinesssolutions.com is your solution to do that. And I hope to see you guys here soon in the next video. Peace.